Yo, first video on the channel. I'm gonna be drawing my little avatar, my little dude. I'm basically gonna explain my thought process and what I was thinking while I was making it, because he went through a couple different processes. But I'm gonna show y'all that right now as I explain. So originally this video wasn't supposed to be a voiceover. I was gonna like record my voice live so y'all can actually see my thought process and what I was thinking while I was making it, but the people in my hall are a little too geek. Not even just the people in my hall. I stay on campus at my dorm. I be hearing niggas screaming through the walls, like screaming, like geeking. And nigga was screaming this morning. I think he was on the phone, but that's not even that's besides the point. We supposed to be on this art right here. So I was fucking with this pose at first. I think after looking at it for a little bit, I decided to switch it up because his legs were too close together. It looked like he kind of hitting the, you know what I'm saying? Like he hitting the monkey type shit. I didn't decide to draw the full arms because I knew I was going to do like the fuck was that? I knew I was going to do the hands and the hoodie pose because that was my idea for it from the start. Okay, this is when I started altering the pose. Now I want to talk about how this is kind of a pivotal moment for me in my art career. Y'all don't know this, but I just got my tablet fairly fairly recently. So I haven't really been, and I had like scheduled things. I've been busy as shit. So I haven't really gotten to use it as much as I want to, but now I'm using it actually, and I've done a few drawings before this one. I'll put them up on screen. But now that I'm actually drawing with it, I'm starting to understand. You know, little me, he low key was beefing with the digital artists on YouTube and everything. He was like, traditional is on top. But now that I've grown and I've shed my mortal coil, I'm starting to see why we're on this new wave because being able to resize and like push around poses and stuff without having to completely erase everything might be top 10 experiences of all time. And right now I'm going through getting some references for the hoodie. I actually don't end up drawing the hoodie first. I end up drawing the head first. So like my process is a little out of whack. Since I only recently got my tablet or whatever, my process isn't gonna look normal or what it usually looks like. Like you'll see me undo and redo stuff and undo and redo it over and over again, just trying to learn how the buttons work. Sometimes I just use them to use them, and sometimes I use them by accident. I'm gonna skip through the head drawing process pretty quick. I didn't like how it came out, and I did it like redid it completely basically at the end of this, but I didn't record that part. So when the recording ends, you'll see the face that I didn't like still up there, but when I show you the finished product at the end, it'll have the new face that I redrew for it. This is another part I wanted to skip to. I just wanted to admire the ability to like repose the drawing. I guess you have to be in the art community. I don't know if it's just me or if I'm overreacting to something, but this shit means something to me. I wonder if artists who have been drawing longer digitally remember their first time going in and resizing an image after the drawing, and if they were as geeked as I am, because that shit is beautiful. Now we get to a pretty big part of the drawing. It's the hoodie. I actually get to get my character fitted out now. He finna be looking good. So basically, with the hoodie, I knew what kind of hoodie I wanted in terms of how it would fit onto my character, but I didn't really have any idea for the design. I was just gonna get the fit down first, and then we were just gonna go from there with the design, like freestyle it basically. So right now I'm throwing in the hoodie, whatever. It's like a big puffy hoodie, and I knew I didn't want it to go all the way down. I wanted it to be like one of those hoodies that are kind of like a little high up. I don't know what you would call those. Like they're not cropped hoodies. Cropped hoodies are like you cut them in half, right? Basically. But it was not like a full length hoodie either. So I don't know what you would call it, but that's the kind of fit that I wanted for this one. Now, I'm not afraid to admit that I was struggling on this part. Like, you're probably going to see me redo this at least 1,000 times. I mean, drawing wrinkles for clothing is difficult enough as it is traditionally, and now I'm doing it digitally for kind of the first time. So, yeah, I go back and forth a lot with this one. I think the main issue for this is that it looked like his whole forearm was in the hoodie. I don't know why, but like when you put your hands in your hoodies, you put your hands in your hoodies. Not all the way down to the elbow, and for some reason it kept looking like he was elbow deep in his hoodie. And the hoodie isn't even big enough for that, so I don't even know how I would accomplish this IRL. But I had to do something about that because it was bothering me, and I knew it was going to keep bothering me until I figured something out about it. So I probably ended up just resizing it, which I think that's what I'm doing right now. Yeah. Yeah, you can see that's much less arm in the hoodie. Still a lot, but I think the hoodie's big enough to actually make that look more realistic. So now I move on to the pants. Boom. Okay, so this is a prime example of how my references end up looking nothing like what I actually draw. So I chose these pants for the shape mostly, but I was planning on taking some of the design elements, like the writing across the front, maybe the color, which I did. I took the writing across the front, not word for word, but I put my own writing up there, but the actual pants themselves ended up looking completely different. I decided to throw them in some slides because I wanted it to be lore accurate. 9 times out of 10, if you see me, I'm gonna have some slides on, and if I wear them, he gotta wear them too. Buddy's arms was lopsided, so I had to pick one of them up, make it more even, so he can look like an actual human being. Adjusted that a little bit. Then I'm pretty sure I'd start the coloring phase, or no, actually, I start to do the line work for the alternate poses. So whenever you see avatars in references for videos or whatever, they always, or not always, but usually they have like different poses or like different emotes that they do. And I wanted my dude to have different emotes, so that's what I'm working on right now. The one I'm doing right now is going to be for basically when I'm talking. I came up with them as I went, so after I did this first one, I then did the coloring process afterwards, and then went back to doing the alternate gestures and stuff because I hadn't had the ideas for the gestures until after I finished coloring, which might be a dumb idea, but it really wasn't that hard to put the gesture in after the coloring. It was quite easy, which I was surprised because I thought it was gonna be difficult. Here we go with the coloring part. Coloring digitally is one of the funnest things I've ever done art wise. I don't know if it's just because of the clothes and like getting to mess around with the colors on clothes because I'm really a fashion man. So getting to basically design clothes is too nice. I did brown for the hoodie. I knew I wanted the hoodie to be brown from the start, basically. The pants, I didn't really have an idea for what color I wanted them to be, so I did gray at first, but that it wasn't vibrant enough. It wasn't eye-catching enough, so I ended up changing it, which we'll see in a little bit. So dark color for the top, bright color for the bottoms, then dark color for the shoes. And I wanted a flashy design on the hoodie to make it stand out. And I was kind of getting there with the letter writing across the front. That wasn't enough. I needed more. I needed more. So after this, well, I struggle with this a little bit because writing and drawing application is not easy. So I struggle with this a little bit, but I finally get a design that I like. And I move on to these little star patterns on the hoodie and the jacket. And I was thinking, it's already a dark hoodie, so I want the designs on it to be brighter. So I started in by filling those with a dark brown or darker brown. Then I go back in with like a light purple and start doing another design. Now, if this was a real hoodie, the actual hoodie part would probably be like normal fabric, whatever, like cotton or whatever. But then the purple designs on top of it would be like carpet texture, like fluffy carpet texture. And that would be the hardest shit ever. And if you don't see the vision, you're like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? You have a limited number of days to live. I'm not gonna tell you what day specifically, but just know it's in the very, very near future. You're cooked. So I move on to the pants. Well, move back to the pants rather. And I'm looking for like a cool logo design to put up there. And I wasn't really gonna go crazy with the logo itself. I was just gonna come up with something I like would actually wear in real life, basically. So I know what I like to wear. So that's what I put on. This is a fit I would actually step out into the world in. I started working on the head again, but I already explained it at the start that I did not like how this turned out. So you'll just have to see the redrawn version after this. Because I do one more thing. I go back to the pants. The pants had the most changes done to them out of anything in the drawing. I don't know why, but I guess the pants just weren't flashy enough for me. The Buggy the Clown was whispering in my ear like the Goblin Mask, and he kept saying it needs to be more flashy. So I go back in with a complementary color to brown, and I redo the pants basically. Then I go back to the face because it was pissing me off. I couldn't get something I liked, so I just redid it. And you're about to see that right now. And boom, here we go now for the final finale. I don't have any drums, but we're gonna pretend like we do. This guy's going fucking crazy. Boom. There we go. And I'm gonna throw in the alternate gestures and stuff that I drew for him. I'm really happy with how this came out. This shit looks tough as fuck. This guy took me a calm 2 hours to draw. Obviously, y'all won't be seeing all of that. But if you made it this far in the video, thank you very much for watching all the way through. You're one of the realest niggas I've ever known. Even if you're a little white girl named Sabrina, you're still a real nigga in my eyes. I'm gonna ask that you like and subscribe and leave in the comments, tell me what you think about my avatar. I'm gonna leave you guys off with a time lapse of the drawing process.